This is Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing. You are watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
Well, Derek Chisora finally gets a result. The judges take the side of Derek Chisora, but we're going to talk about the judges in a minute. Quite how they had it as wide as what they did, I'll never know. But this was a very interesting fight. It was a fight that I was looking forward to. I know some people were moaning about it. Me personally, I was really looking forward to this fight. I was. And of course, I was hoping Derek Chisora was going to win. Listen, I like Pulev. I've always been a fan of Pulev. But ultimately, this one, I really wanted Derek Chisora to get a win. He didn't look great against Joseph Parker. And I was curious, how is he going to look against Pulev? Now, what I will say is that throughout this fight, obviously the bigger bombs were always going to be coming from Chisora. Pulev didn't seem to have too much mustard on his shots. He just seemed to be content to just be tapping away. Anyway, so we go back to round number one. It was all Derek Chisora. Body shot, body shot, body shot. Pulev was trying to clinch. He was trying to do the Vladimir Klitschko kind of style, you know, jab, jab, grab, jab, jab, grab. That's what it was that Pulev was trying to do. And whenever that happened, Chisora would just unload on the body and you could hear the thuds. You really could. And I'm thinking, okay, that's probably the best tactic. Wear down Pulev as the fight goes on. He's going to fatigue, maybe drop the elbows, overhand right, maybe put Pulev out. Round number two, much the same, I felt. So big body shots from Chisora, and his tag is war, and that's what you get with Derek Chisora. So for me, I thought that Derek Chisora won the first two rounds quite convincingly. Round number three, I gave it to Pulev only just, but that's a swing round. So if somebody wants to argue with me that and say that maybe it was just edged with Chisora, or maybe it's an even round, I can't argue with you. I did feel round number three was very, very close. Pulev was starting to realize what it was that Chisora was doing and became smart to it and started to do what it is that Pulev does, which is that jab. Now, Pulev, he did surprise me at times in this fight where he actually threw the right hand without throwing the left first. That's something that Pulev doesn't usually do. Pulev usually throws the right hand after the left. So he'll go left, right, left, left, right. That's usually what Pulev does. In this one, he was actually throwing the right solo at times. Anyway, I said I just edged it with Pulev for round number three. Round number four, that was a clear round for Pulev, I felt. I felt that Pulev was just in control at that point. I really did. And much the same for round five and round six, although they were a little bit closer, but I did edge them with Pulev. So on my scorecard, at the halfway point, round number six, I had Pulev up by 4 rounds to 2. Now, as I said, if anybody wants to argue with me in round number three, arguably we could say at the halfway point, maybe it's a draw. Maybe. Now, from round number 7 onwards, there were some real close rounds. There were, but I was starting to edge them, a lot of them, with Derek Chisora. I really was. But again, I don't know. Was I being biased? Maybe. But at the same time, round number 7, was it, where Pulev caught Chisora right at the end of the round with a big punch and Chisora's legs wobbled. I'm sure that was round 7. It may have been 8, but I'm pretty sure it was round number 7 where Chisora's legs started to wobble. And luckily for him, the bell came. I do feel that happened. But at the same time, I'm a little bit curious as to why Pulev wasn't going to go headhunting when he could see that Chisora was clearly in trouble and he was throwing shots to the body with the occasional one to the head when Chisora's arms were down. So what you do is you go for the head, right? He wasn't really doing that. Anyway, I felt that round number 8, that Pulev was just going to take over and potentially stop Chisora if Chisora hadn't recovered. Well, didn't look like Chisora had recovered too much, but ultimately he caught Pulev with a huge punch himself, and Pulev seemed to be in a lot of trouble in that one. So again, I had to give that one to Chisora, not just because of that one big punch or anything like that. I felt that Chisora arguably won that round. Now, this is where it got really interesting. It's the last 4 rounds, last 3 or 4 rounds, that's where this fight was won or lost for me. So if you had 2 or maybe 3 of the last 3 rounds, for example, all Chisora or 2-1 to Pulev, however it's going to be, then that's ultimately going to be your decider. It really is. Now, for me, I was hoping Chisora was going to get the decision. I was. And I felt that Pulev pretty much gave away round 12. I don't know whether or not he felt that he had a comfortable lead. Did he forget that he was on away soil? I don't know. But as I said, Chisora doesn't usually get the decisions, but ultimately he did. Now, 2 judges gave it to Chisora, 1 judge gave it to Pulev. Now, 1 judge gave it to Pulev 16 rounds, sorry, 116 to 112, so a 4-round difference in favour of Pulev. Another judge gave it a 4-round difference in favour of Chisora. So quite how 2 judges had it virtually 8 rounds apart, I'll never know. I don't get that at all. I really don't get that. But ultimately, the 3rd judge had Derek Chisora winning by a much closer margin. Now, Chisora getting the result, listen, I'm happy about that. Is it the right result? I mean, maybe. Maybe, yes, I feel that maybe it is, but maybe that's some of my bias seeping in, I don't know. I did feel that Chisora had maybe just edged this win. Maybe a draw, maybe. I wouldn't have argued with a draw. But at the same time, would I have really argued with a Pulev win? I don't know, to be honest with you. It was a close fight. And listen, if they want to run it back and have a 3rd fight, I would watch it. Don't be wrong. I know Chisora, he's called out Wilder. Is that likely to happen? Well, Wilder's always said he's never going to work with Eddie Hearn, so very unlikely. But hey, you never know. I suppose everybody's got a number. But listen, it was a good fight. It was a really good fight. And I was surprised with Pulev, the fact that he managed to go the rounds that he did. He managed to go right the way to the end, especially after that early onslaught of body shots. And it's not like Chisora was really letting up at times. He did take a couple of rounds off, for sure. But every time that Pulev got close, the body shots would come in. And they were thudding body shots. They really were. So full credit to Pulev for taking those body shots. Again, yes, Pulev is what, 41, 42 years old, whatever it is. This is 2022. With the strength and conditioning of these professional athletes, it's like being just past 30 to 35 years old of years gone by. 40 isn't that old when it comes to boxing. But again, listen, that depends on your lifestyle, I suppose. But I do have to say congratulations to Derek Chisora as a biased Brit. Of course, I'm very happy that Derek Chisora won that fight. But if anybody had it a different result, maybe you had it as a draw, maybe you just edged it with Pulev. Again, maybe that's why the judges got it so wide. 2 of the judges got it so wide, like an 8-round difference. Depends on what you like. If you like the guy who comes thudding forward looking for the big knockout, then obviously you're going to go with Chisora. If you like the European style, trying to stay behind the jab, throwing the uppercuts and the occasional right hand, then obviously you're going to go with Pulev. It was a very close fight. Very, very close fight. It was one that I entertained. And as Derek Chisora said there, it's the first time his family actually came to a live event. So it's good that he got a win in front of them. It is. So anyway, congratulations to Derek Chisora. And as I said at the end there, he's only got a couple more fights left now. He recognises that he is at the end. But both guys, massive credit. Both guys had to dig deep in this fight. Chisora, I felt he had to dig deep a little bit more. But anyway, Chisora gets to win. Show your thoughts below. Click thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next video.